Hello again, I am Jim Bob. Welcome back to Fendt Farm on the Drummond Farm map. And we are going to do some silage bales today. So let's grab our mowers. Front one first. Turn around, back in and get the rear mower. There we go, fold it up. And off we go up to the field by the sheep pen. It is a fully fertilised, fully grown field of grass, just ready and waiting to be mowed into oblivion. There we go. So let's start unfolding and lowering everything. Try and line up. There we go. So we get an extra width here by cutting right on the edge of the field like this. That extra little bit of grass could be useful. It could be the difference between a full bale and a partial bale. It does look like we are having some detection issues here. Whenever this happens, I always tend to do a little headland across the top. Usually resolves the issue, not always, but usually. So let's go down and do the other side as well. And we'll do the same again, we'll cut an extra width. Because we've got this little bit of space here on the side. Be rude not to use it. Okay, looking good. Alright, just need to check something, 2 seconds. And we're back. Okay, so yeah, I just needed to check that I had actually got the right microphone plugged in. Paranoia set in for a second then. Okay, so while he is doing his thing here, mowing away on this field for us, let's check on this guy. He's still seeding away, putting down some corn. Let's check the state of pricing and animals. The canola price is still going up. This is good. We like this. What else have we got price-wise? Nothing spectacular that's particularly useful to us yet. Okay, so while we're waiting, let's grab the 300. Let's do that little test that we talked about at the end of the last episode. Let's grab the bale shredder, if I can remember where I left it. I think it's over here. Oops. Yeah, we'll cut through this way. I think I left it over here. Yeah, there it is. Do we have a bale in there? Probably not. Oops. No, we don't. Not at all. So let's drop that there. Let's go grab some spikes of some kind, so we can grab a bale. We're going to go and try and blow the straw directly into the hayloft trigger point. Is that pallet forks? Yes, it is. Okay, so we'll use this multi-purpose bucket thing. If I can get it to attach. Oh, not lined up. There we go. Try not to run over any of the chickens. We're going to grab one bale, just the one, and throw it in. Okay, there we go. Oh, you can see the weight of just a single bale is really... I mean, it's at an awkward height. But it was really causing issues for the little 300 there, or the 330. What is the number on this? I always forget. That's a 313. This is why I always just call it the mini well, on the Massey Ferguson version, I always call it the Mini Massey because I can never remember the series number. But yeah, this is a 300 series Vario. And I'm guessing by the 1.3 that it's based off, you know, a power of around 130 horsepower, probably just under, probably 127 or something like that. Okay, so let's head over to the farm. Well, the other farm. It's a shame this doesn't have beacons on it. This little 300 series. Just feels like there's something missing without the beacons on this. There we go. So, in terms of mod news, let's see. Today is Monday morning. That's Monday the... What's the date today? Monday the 1st of May. It's May Day. So, we had a couple of updates for existing mods on Friday. Haven't had a lot really recently. But in terms of mod news, Mustang Valley is on its way. It was being tested last week. It did fail its initial run through testing, queued up a few different errors. They have all been fixed and the map has been resubmitted for testing again. So hopefully, if it passes, we may get that map before the DLC drops, which would be really nice. Get a chance to look it over, try it out, and then really have a go at it when the DLC pack drops. So let's try this theory. Let's see, will this unload directly into storage? I think it's doing it. Yep, look at that. That's awesome. So that is actually a working proof there. It shredded straight into the storage. We saw the straw not piling up on the ground. I checked the menu system. We saw the storage volume going up. That's awesome. So big thank you to whoever it was who pointed that out as a suggestion to me. I think it was Neil, I can't remember, but whoever it was, a big thank you for that. That'll save some time. So let's go take this back. And we'll put the equipment away again. Oh, Helper B has run out of fuel. Oh, knackers. Oh, that's not good. Well, he's finished the field. Hang on. No. Tank is empty. It's seed tank. Panicked for a second then. I thought one of my tractors had run out of fuel in the middle of a field somewhere. Because I don't have a portable fuel tank. And I don't have any money either. Which meant it would have been stranded. Okay, empty seed tank, we can deal with that. That's not a major issue. We can just drive back to the farm, throw another seed, load of seed in, and be back on our way again. So the problem with these smaller seeders is that, you know, they're really effective and they're really useful, but they just don't have much capacity. You know, I mean, it's always deceptive as well when you're looking at the tank storage in the shop, because it says X amount of storage, and what it doesn't tell you is the actual breakdown of that storage, because half of it, well, not even half, some of it will be for seeds. Usually the higher percentage is for fertilizer, which goes down at a really ridiculously slow rate as well in comparison to seeding. So you have a much smaller seed tank than a fertilizer tank, and the seed gets used up much faster. You know, it just means that, you know, this tiny little tank for seeds is always, you know, always empty. It's never, it never stays full for very long. It's a real pain. And what can you do, eh? Did we sell a trailer? We're missing a trailer, I think. I'm sure I had another trailer. Yeah, where is that trailer? Down there. Well, let's put this bucket away, and then we'll jump over to that farm and see why I left that over there. Because I honestly cannot remember. It might have some stuff in it already. Zoom in through the wall. There we go. And drop that. There we go. I love the collision mod, where you can turn off the vehicle camera collisions, but it does enough make it difficult when you're in a tight shed like this. It constantly puts the camera outside the wall. You have to zoom in or change your view perspective to be able to see what you're doing. Okay, there we go. We're parked up. We're pretty straight. It's not perfect, but it'll do. So we've finished the mowing. So we can fold the mowers up, take them back. It's not a huge amount of grass. Not really. Not in the grand scheme of things. It'll do. It's enough. We don't need a staggeringly large amount. Just need enough to generate some silage bales. It's not even worth selling silage bales on this map, because the price of regular silage is so high in comparison to pretty much every other map out there at the moment that you know, you'd actually be making a loss, a big loss, doing silage bales compared to actually just you know, putting it in a bunker and fermenting it. It'll take you longer, but you'll make more money. Okay, so mower dropped off. There we go. Let's do the same with the front mower. Now I need to move the tedder. Fork's way up in the air there, so I can latch onto it. And I'm actually going to store this in here, I think. Oops. Bit too high there. I'll store it in here because I don't use it that often. And I'm going to need the windrower more often. So it doesn't make sense to block it in all the time and have to constantly keep moving stuff out of the way. There we go. And let's have a look, see where I left that trailer. Because it is around here somewhere. I think it's going to be over here somewhere. Nope. Let's have another look at the mini-map. Oh, no, wait, that's at the store. Why is that at the store? I think we tipped 2 different trailers at the same time to try and maximise the price. And then we just never brought this one back. That might be why it's still here. That's fine. Okay, we'll come back and get that later. So yeah, first now we need to put some more seed in this guy. It is completely empty. We don't even need that much seed really. We've only got what, a couple of passes, 2.5, 3 passes left. Seems a shame to go all the way back just for a couple of passes, but not a lot we can do about that, unfortunately. And maybe we'll look at getting the front seed tank, you know, the Kuhn seed extender. That'll give us an extra 1,500 litres of seed. It'll be more than enough. Probably too much, really. He is quite big and chunky as well. At least, you know, for the fields this size anyway. Will cause some issues when we get towards the end of a field using that, because it'll be so close to the edge, you know, to a hedgerow or a fence, that we won't be able to go the full distance of the field before we have to back up. Probably have to put a headland or 2 in. Okay, so let's go around the silo here. And we are fine for fuel. This one's a seed. Okay, so while that is filling up, let's grab some eggs. If there are any eggs to grab. 2. Is that it? Just 2 eggs? Lazy chickens, come on. Get laying. We must have picked them up more recently. Okay, so we're full on seed. Let's go back and finish off that field. It is a really nice map, this. I do enjoy it. It's very, very small. I think it's definitely the smallest of all the maps. It's definitely smaller than Old Stream. Even before Old Stream got the expansion, it just has a much more... I think it's because... Maybe not so much because the overall map size itself is small. It just feels smaller because there are 2 farms. They're quite close together and there's hardly any road network on this map at all. It's literally just like one main road and that's it. And it's not a very big road. I mean, well, 2 main roads, one intersecting the other. And then the rest is all windy dirt roads and concreted paths. Just makes it feel really small. Alright, so he is finishing off. Let's go back and windrow our grass, and then we can bale it and wrap it. Trying to remember if I actually have a bale wrapper now. I must have a, or have I? I might have to hire one actually. Thinking about it. Well, that'll be expensive. Let's drop those forks down. There we go. Alright, so do I actually have a bale wrapper? No, I don't. Okay. Right, that makes things a bit more interesting. So how much is it going to be to hire one of these things? 4 grand. That's 4 grand I don't really have. Do I have any overdraft? No, I don't. So I can bale these up, but I can't wrap them. That's a problem. So we're going to have to sell some crop, which means this price still hasn't gone up. Let's speed time up a bit. And keep an eye on that price. We need that to kind of finish going up, really. I mean, 37 is a really nice price. Right, sorry, 37 is the volume. 12 something is really nice price for canola. Considering this is a hard playthrough. You know, some maps you rarely ever break 1,000. You know, the market can be a bit soft when it comes to selling canola on quite a few maps. But it's quite nicely priced on this one at the moment. Going up, it's 12 and still going up. So let's get ready to sell. So we're going to need our bigger trailer. There we go. Ooh, just squeezed through there past that tree. And let's start filling up. And he's finished there. You see, it was just such a... But look how much seed he's used already. Oh no, I'm looking at the fertilizer. He's used a fair bit of seed, really, for just a couple of passes, but... See how quick it was. It was just a shame to have to go all the way back and then fill up to come back for a minute and a half's worth of seeding. Just unfortunate, really, that we didn't have enough overall. Who knows? Perhaps we would have if we hadn't extended these fields slightly. Perhaps we would have just been able to cover it. Ooh. Bouncing around a little bit. I could do with a weight really on the front to stop the nose popping around and bouncing here. It is quite a lightweight vehicle in some respects. It's not the heaviest of tractors, and having, you know, the weight of that seeder just pushing down on the back, it does mean on these roads in particular, the front end is very, very bouncy. So now I need to decide where I'm going to store this seeder. There should be some space in this shed here. Yeah, there is. we go. Oh, I'm wedged. I am very wedged. Oh dear. I'm about as wedged as you can possibly get. I can't move at all. Ah, right, okay. I have to go give him a nudge. Push him loose. That was careless. Oh, he's really wedged. I don't think that's helped at all. Oh no, it has. There we go. I just drove straight back into the same spot. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. That's more like it. Alright, so we'll get the 7 back in the barn. There we go. Engine off. Let's grab the 3. Let's put this back in the barn as well. And we've used up a little bit of time doing that, so hopefully our price will have finished going up and we'll have a stable final price. Nothing worse than selling and then seeing the price continue to climb. There we go, so it's stabilised. So let's slow time down a touch. Let's go sell. So we've got the beacons on. We've got a full trailer of canola. And we're off to the sell point. Which one do I want? Is it 1 or 2? I think it's 1. Yeah. So that's the one round the back side. Let's see how much we slow down going up this hill with a full load here. Oh, quite a bit. Just about stayed at 5 there. That's pretty slow. Can you imagine if we were pulling a trailer with a 35 or 40,000 litre capacity? We'd be really struggling. I remember back on FS15 when I used to try and climb the hill from the silos at Westbridge Hills up towards the shop to go and sell stuff at the station. And if you didn't have enough momentum, there was a very real possibility that you would actually just come to a stop and then start sliding down the hill with your finger fully on the accelerator. Wheels spinning and still gradually sliding backwards. There were some really steep inclines on that map. Still holding out hope that we might actually get a console port of that. I don't know whether that would have to be done by Giants themselves, whether they would prevent anyone from actually modding that map and then bringing it across. I might send them an email actually and ask them. I'm curious. Because there have been so many different versions of that map that have been created as PC mods. But none have been submitted for console testing. that I know of, or at least none have been put onto the console mod hub, is a more accurate statement. It may well be that a couple have been submitted and just failed testing. Who knows? But yeah, I might post that up as a question on the forums, or shoot an email out to Giants and see what they say. Because it would be great to have Bjornholm back and Westbridge Hills again. I think especially with the newer gear that's coming, Westbridge Hills will be a pretty good map. Once you start ploughing those fields together, you can make some really massive fields. And with the new DLC equipment on its way, just a week away now, or just a fraction over a week. Then you could really have some fun on that map with that new gear. The new seeders, new cultivators, ploughs, etc. Even the tractors themselves would be perfect again for that region. Westbridge Hills, big American map. Why not have some big American tractors on it? And Bjornholm was a fun little map. I don't know how well the game economy would work on it now that silage is a busted flush. But I imagine you'd still be able to make some decent money again. There were some pretty decent sized fields on Bjornholm as well. And you could always plough some together as well to make even bigger fields. So, yeah, it'd be nice to see either of those two maps make their way over. I think I'd probably prefer to see Westbridge over Bjornholm. I know Giants themselves were probably, not going to release it. I mean, they have already released Westbridge for the last two versions. It was the expansion map for 13, and then it was the default map for 15. I can't see. That'd be three games in a row where we have the same map. I can't see them releasing it for that reason. There's still hope for Bjornholm, but again, I think it's pretty much unlikely. They're definitely going the much more of an American theme this year, though. More American equipment. The main base map was an American map. We've got a very American DLC coming out in a week's time with the big bug pack. They are aware that they've picked up a lot of farmers on the North American continent. And they have been very vocal in wanting more American equipment and maps and so on and so forth. I mean, if you're a PC owner, it's fine. There's so many different American maps out there. It's unreal, and you can get pretty much any equipment you want, on PC. You want John Deere, you've got it. You want, class, easy peasy. You want old school equipment from, cabless tractors, same as the sort of vintage equipment that was released at the very end of Farming Sim 15 as a console patch. Not an issue at all. Whatever you want on PC, you can get it. You want to go gold mining, you can do that. I mean, I think that's a bit too far myself. I mean, if I wanted to do gold mining, I'm sure there are games out there that are proper dedicated gold mining simulations. There's got to be, especially given how popular Gold Rush has been on Discovery. There's got to be a gold mining sim out there somewhere. But putting gold mining in Farming Sim is a bit too far for me. It's a bit too much of a step. Now, I'm all for things that are going to enhance and expand the farming experience, but what the hell does gold mining have to do with farming? That's just a mod that's a bit too far for me. But that's the thing with mods, though. You can do whatever you want with them. Ooh. Oh, that bench is not nailed down. Okay, well, let's just push that out of the way. Coming through. And now we'll run it over. There we go. It's the worst possible place to park a truck on that corner, and it's always there. Alright, this is pretty much about the biggest size tipper we can probably get away with on this map. We could possibly get away with one that's slightly bigger, but only slightly. I certainly think we would really struggle getting out of the sell point using a truck. Yeah, with a semi-tipper. I think that would just be too big. And there's certainly no way in hell we could get away with using the Black Sheep modding grain trailer. That thing is just so ridiculously long. There's no way we'd get it around those corners. Not without causing some serious property damage at the very least, anyway. Alright, so we sold our canola. Next harvest, we'll add the soybeans from that to the soybeans that we have in storage, and we'll look to sell those. But now I can afford to get my bale wrapper. So, baling technology. It's a shame this is the only... I don't really need that many bales, and I'm not going to need them for a while. Excuse me, either. So it's not a horrendous issue that we're going to be leasing this and only getting, maybe a dozen bales at most. It's not, it's not the end of the world. So we'll go drop the windrower off. We'll head back to the other farm. We'll pick up the baler and the stacker. And then we'll go and pick up the wrapper. Oh, I needed to turn that way, didn't I? Never mind. Let's do a little loop around here instead. Should still be able to get through here. It'll be a bit tight, but... There we go. It was the height issue that I was more worried about than anything else. It's a bit too close to the mower. There we go. Right, let's go get some equipment. How are we doing for time? Oh, we're almost out of time already. Wow, these episodes don't fly by, do they? So a big thank you to everyone who's been watching the American Outback series. It's been doing ridiculously well so far in comparison to my other videos. I think it's just one of those maps that just everybody wants to do at the moment, which means a lot of people are also kind of watching what other people are doing as well. I've done it as well. I've been watching a few other people playing on that map just to see where they're doing things differently to the way to how I'm doing them. Everyone has their own way of approaching a map, I think, and it can be fun to see the differences between your approach and someone else's. So I think we are going to have enough time to sort of get all the equipment in place, and then we'll actually do the baling next episode. Yeah, as I say, the American Outback series is proving very, very popular. So, big thank you to everyone who's getting behind that series. Really great to see, numbers that are, many times higher than some of my other videos. I am cranking out double episodes at the moment in a rush to get as much footage, released, and as much progress on the farm as possible before Big Bud is released. I've got 8 episodes scheduled for release in total before the DLC drops, and I've just dropped 5 and 6. 7 and 8 will be dropping on Sunday. So if you are watching the series, Sunday will be the next pairing of episodes. Episode 8 is actually a little bit longer. There's an extra 5 or 10 minutes worth of footage on at the end of that one there, as we just desperately try and get everything prepped as best we can, because I won't be recording episode 9 until after the DLC drops, because we are looking to introduce some new equipment with episode 9, straight from the DLC. I have already kind of planned out roughly what I'm going to buy. No spoilers, I'm not going to tell you what it is. You'll just have to tune in and wait and see. It won't be the 747, I can guarantee you that. We just won't have the money for it, for starters, and we won't have a use for it either. It's so big, and although we have some decent sized land to work with, we certainly don't have anything that's sort of super sized and requires a 747. But he will be turning up later on in the series, as the farm, continues to expand. So, keep an eye out for that. Sunday is the next pairing of episodes 7 and 8. Then the DLC drops on Tuesday at midnight. I will be there at 2 minutes past midnight on the store, frantically refreshing my search options, trying to find it and then downloading it. I have a test farm up and running. I will be working the equipment on the test farm for a good few hours, trying it out, recording some footage, trying to piece together a review video, which I hope to get out late on Tuesday, or if not on Wednesday. And then the next episode will be recorded straight after I've finished playing about with the testing, and episode 9 will be released on the Thursday. So that's the kind of time scale for American Outback there, as opposed to Fendt Farm. Still going strong. We are over 22 episodes now, including this one. Episode 23 will be dropping on Monday, the day before the DLC. We probably won't have any of the DLC drop on this particular farm. I just don't think this map is big enough to support any of the equipment, really. It's just so big. I can't think of anything that would... Oh, gone straight past the store. Can't think of anything that would really work on this particular farm. Our most powerful tractor is less than 300 horsepower. So don't expect to see any of the DLC from Big Bud make its way over to Fendt Farm. It's all just too big and too too heavy. The power demands are too big. But you might see a couple of bits pop up on Sandy Bay. You'll definitely see a lot of it popping up on American Outback. and you may even see the odd bit pop up on Massey Manor. Who knows? Money is really tight on that map at the moment though, so if anything does come, it certainly won't be for a while. So you'll have one definite farm with DLC content being added to it pretty much immediately. Another one that might have some added, not too far off, and then one that may have some in the probably the more distant future. And this one isn't going to have it at all. So as we make our way back to the farm, we are out of time for this episode, so thank you all for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the Facebook page as well. My name's Jim Bob, and I will catch you back on the farm very soon.